welcome to Above Replacement Radio. I am your host, Chris Gianta. You know what Christy Mathewson wasn't worried about? SIERA. When you're thinking about Pedro Siriaco, I mean, the only one that can compete is maybe Hannes Wagner's 1908 season. Over there on the other side of the screen is Daniel Curran.
Like, if we just clip together every time we've talked about him on other people's profiles, we've done a Mickey Cochran episode.
I can't get past Rabbit Marinville. It's not necessarily Hall of Fame. It's not necessarily above average, but we can guarantee you we are better than just the standard replacement level college sophomore.
And welcome to Above Replacement Radio, where we're talking baseball, kind of whenever. I am your host, Chris Gianta. Over there across from me, as you cannot see on YouTube, unfortunately, is Daniel Curran. How you doing, Daniel?
Chris, I am doing well today. We've had another good weekend of baseball. We personally had a really good weekend with baseball that we'll get into later. But yeah, a lot of exciting things coming for ARR in the near future, including this very show.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know, like, I could get into it now. I mean, yeah, I think we started off one episode like a couple weeks ago talking about how we were going to be media members. It started with the Hartford Yard Goats. That experience was more of a warm-up to our experience with the Worcester Red Sox, who, we went to a Worcester Red Sox game as media members. You know, there's not a lot of media coverage going on for minor league baseball, like at the games themselves. And we were able to go into the press box a little bit, have like our own little area. And we went on Friday the 15th when they had a doubleheader against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Iron Pigs, yes, Phillies affiliate.
And we were, able to go into the Worcester Red Sox clubhouse after the game. And, Daniel interviewed Triston Casas. Do you want to talk about that a little bit before we play it?
Sure. So if you don't know who Triston Casas is, you will soon. He is the number one prospect in the Boston Red Sox organization. He is, I believe, a consensus top 20 prospect in baseball. I just want to check real quick, but I believe he was, 18th on MLB Pipeline preseason. Actually, he was 16th, so his baseball prospect is actually not as high on him, but he's 19th overall on Baseball America, 16th overall on MLB Pipeline / Major League Baseball, 44th overall on Baseball Prospectus. Either way, he's arguably the top prospect in the Red Sox system, definitely one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball, and I got to do a quick interview with him. It was about 2 minutes long in the clubhouse. We talked about kind of where he is at right now, where he hopes to be come time he gets called up with the Red Sox. He was very nice, for a guy that was just walking in the clubhouse. I'm sure he's not used to, at that point in his career, he's probably not getting used to interviewed after games. He probably wanted to go home. But, he was very welcoming to us. The whole team in general was pretty welcoming, I'd say.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, for sure. Giant man for sure. He's
oh my God, yeah. I mean, I'll speak on that. So Triston Casas is, I believe, 6'4", 255 pounds, all muscle, by the way.
Right.
All 255 pounds of all muscle, and we got into the clubhouse after the game, and I knew that I wanted to interview him, and I started on the left side, just looking at everyone's locker, trying to find Casas number 36. And I'm looking around, going from left to right. He ended up being on the very right, so he was the last person I saw. But I looked at him, didn't even see the locker, and I was like, yeah, that's him. There he is, right there. Yeah, he's a mammoth of a human being.
Yeah.
You don't see these things on TV, but like some of these guys are just huge. And Triston Casas is probably the biggest baseball player I've seen in person. That close. Not that I've been that close to very many, but
yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
Not a very hard man to find.
No.
Whatsoever.
In a crowd at all.
Yeah. It was. That was something to observe for sure. And yeah, we'll cue that up. There was a little bit of like in the clubhouse. They aren't used to media members, so there was some music playing, so
blasting.
Yeah, so beware of that. But you're able to hear all of what he's saying. So here's Daniel's interview with Triston Casas.
So this is your first year starting at AAA. Last year you started on AA. We're here for a little bit last year. What kind of strides do you feel like you've made in the past year that's gotten you to this point?
I feel like the biggest thing that I've been working on, that I've made improvements, is definitely my effort level. I know I'm a big guy. I know I'm really strong. But I think controlling my body in the right ways and getting the pitches that I need to and not missing them has been the best improvement that I've made so far.
Sure. What do you want to accomplish between right now and whenever it comes your big league debut?
So win as many ball games as possible. I mean, I love this team that we got right now, top to bottom in the lineup. We're all hitting well, and we're making it a problem on opposing pitching staffs. And in terms of our pitching staff, we're throwing the ball really well. We're getting a lot of outs in a lot of key situations. So honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun winning, and I'm really happy with the team that I'm on right now, and gonna be here for as long as I need to be. But in terms of any goals in between now and then, I don't have any except for winning every game.
Whether it be on the field, off the field, what do you feel like you've been able to contribute to this team in the early goings of this season?
I think I've been able to contribute defensively, offensively, and a little bit on the base running side. I feel like I've been coming up in some big spots. Been able to put away some games with some big home runs, and defensively, I feel like I've been picking up the infielders with some big time plays, and being able to facilitate and help out control and do what we need to do to get outs. I feel like I've been contributing on both sides of the ball so far.
Sure. If and when it is going to be that the Red Sox call you up to the big leagues, what do you want to accomplish with them in your first year in the big leagues?
I just want to make an impact from the first day. I know going into that environment, it's going to be hectic, and it's going to be one that's expected to put W's up at the end of each game. So any way that I can do that, I just want to help bring a championship to Boston. That's it.
Triston, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
And that was Daniel's interview.
Yeah, it ended very abruptly there, but the music, obviously it's hard to ignore that, but you could still hear him pretty well. I was pretty worried in the moment that oh shoot, you're not gonna be able to hear him. But no, everything turned out very well.
Yeah. If you get that recording device, which also known as our phones, close to the person enough, usually it works out. Mm-hmm. So that leaves to my interview. My interview was definitely not with someone as high profile as Triston Casas.
You had a great story though.
Yeah, I've went more like I don't know. I guess the technological side of baseball. I don't know, but I interviewed Connor Wong. If you're a Red Sox fan, or if you're a Red Sox or even possibly a Dodgers fan, you might be familiar with Connor Wong. Connor Wong was traded for was the third player traded from the Dodgers in the Mookie Betts trade. It was Alex Verdugo, Jeter Downs, and Connor Wong. And Connor Wong, he's played 6 Major League Baseball games thus far in his short career, and he's in Worcester right now. And he's basically third in the organizational depth chart. Or actually, no, he's not in Worcester right now. He's on the Boston Red Sox.
Just got called up, so this interview is very timely.
Yeah, it is very timely. So I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, Kevin Plawecki got COVID, so Connor Wong is now in Major League Baseball with the Boston Red Sox. Going to be catching some games for them. But my interview with him was based off of the PitchCom, which was the electronic pitch calling that all teams, I think, tried out in spring training. And the basis of my interview was off of Kike Hernandez's Sunday Night Baseball interview, where they talked to him briefly about PitchCom, and he said, we tried it out, it didn't work, it was kind of complicated. So then I asked him about that. There are some pauses in the interview because he's trying to think and visualize what was going on and try to visually explain it to me, which I thought was pretty nice to not give a canned answer or anything. So that was pretty good. So yeah, listen to my interview with Connor Wong. The Red Sox ESPN game or Sunday Night Baseball game against the Yankees, Kike said that you tried the electronic pitch calling. It didn't really work out. What was your experience with the electronic pitch calling in spring training?
I thought the idea was really good, but there's definitely some things that needed to be worked out. It takes quite some time to get used to where the buttons are, and then it also I feel like you had I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's like you would have to flip it, because it was the locations. You have to touch two buttons and the locations on it. You would have to flip for if a different hitter came up, but the buttons stayed in the same spot. Does that make sense? So processing that is going to take a while. So if you're not on the same page and someone wants to throw something else, then you have to kind of think about it all over again, and it almost took longer than just putting down numbers. But the idea of eliminating fingers for people to try and decode, great idea. It's just I think there might be a place for it if those things can get worked out. But at that time, it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that's going to be tried to practiced within the organization during the year?
Not that I know of. They haven't said anything to us, but I think if they can work some of those things out, I think it can potentially be valuable. If they're going to use it up there, then it needs to be used at the lower levels for people to get used to it, for sure.
And with the electronic pitch calling, was it usually the catchers calling it, or was it the coaches calling it?
Oh no, it's still the catchers calling it. I don't even think it's allowed to be called by the dugout or the pitcher. I think the catcher's the only one who has it, and then there's a few others on the field, just so the middle infield can know what's coming, the outfield can know what's coming.
And that was my interview with Connor Wong, now on the Boston Red Sox for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully we're going to get a couple of these during the season, and I want to try to get into some visiting clubhouses as well, because there are two ballparks that we have clubhouse access to. Ideally, if we can get both sides and not just stick to two teams, I think that'd be very good, and I think that's something that we should be able to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we're just getting comfortable with it right now, and I mean, it was. We'll be honest, it was kind of easy to get access. We didn't get it on our own. We got shout out to Kyle Belanger, 3-time guest of the program. He kind of wrote a little letter of recommendation, I guess would be it.
Yeah. And
got us into the clubhouses, and gave us some good interviews, which is great. Very good.
Absolutely.
So I guess that leads to the world of Major League Baseball as it is right now. When did this? Was this Wednesday or Tuesday?
It was Wednesday because it was it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday in Minnesota, Target Field. Clayton Kershaw, 21 up, 21 down, 13 of them strikeouts, which is pretty unreal.
80 pitches through 7 innings.
80 pitches.
Which is very impressive given 13 strikeouts.
Exactly. Yes. And gets pulled.
Yes.
For pitch count purposes, I guess.
A lot of people had opinions, myself included, immediately. And I think did you see what was said afterwards?
From Kershaw? Yeah.
From Kershaw, from Dave Roberts. Kershaw essentially said, blame the lockout, that they had to take me out because I wasn't, ready enough to go back out there. I think I saw a tweet that said he had never thrown more than 57 pitches in one outing since the start of the season. So, given spring training, bullpens. It makes sense that he's not ready to be stretched out, especially in Minnesota, of all places, right? It's probably cold there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess I could check the game time temperature. But, it's Minnesota in early April.
Right. Yeah.
It's the first outing of the year. I mean, like, yeah, as a fan, of course, you want to see a perfect game. I wanted to see him back out there. Like, he was, an 80 pitch count doesn't seem that ridiculous. Just off the surface level, if he had 105 pitches through 7 with a perfect game somehow, I don't know how that'd be possible, but of course I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Why would they keep him in?
Yeah.
But in those circumstances, Kershaw was pretty level-headed about the situation.
Yeah. I mean, and it's probably easier for him to be level-headed, given like it would be the 7th most impressive thing about his career.
Yeah, I mean that's like the only thing he hasn't done though.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
You would think, to be fair, people forget Clayton Kershaw already should have a perfect game.
Yeah, shout out to Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, I saw a meme. It was like the expanding brain meme where it was like the analytics are the reason Kershaw doesn't have a perfect game, and it's like the brain dead person, and then it's like Dave Roberts is the reason he doesn't have a perfect game, and it's like a little more lit up, and then just like God mode is Hanley Ramirez is the reason Clayton Kershaw doesn't have a perfect game.
Yeah, for those unaware, it was 2014, 2015?
14 against the Rockies.
2014 against the Rockies. Hanley Ramirez was at third base.
I think it was like June 18th. I don't know why I remember that specific date, but I'm pretty sure that's the exact date.
Yeah, and he botched a ball. And
I think he overthrew the first baseman. It was either that or he botched the ball. Either way, he made an error. And, yeah, Kershaw, other than that, no hits, no walks, no hit batters, no even drop third strikes. John Means.
But yeah, it was only a no-hitter because of Hanley Ramirez. But, yeah, that's tough. But, yeah, it's interesting. Like, this. As the game is evolving, we're kind of seeing things that we wouldn't have seen.
Yeah, June 18th.
Like, we wouldn't have...
He had 15 strikeouts in that one, by the way. Game score of 102.
Yeah, if the lockout happened in like 2014 and Kershaw was in this situation, I think probably I'm thinking probably they put him out there at least for the 8th.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you put him in for the 8th, you have to put him in for the 9th if he keeps going. But yeah. And yeah, I guess we're seeing the evolution of the game, but it is, I guess, there's some reassurance to the fan that Kershaw wasn't freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't feel as bad, and yeah, he has.
If there's anyone, sorry to interrupt, but like if there's anyone that has a right to freak out about it, like it would be Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know, I'm trying to think of if Triston McKenzie like was angry at Terry Francona for taking him out in that situation. It's like, dude, I'm not saying Triston McKenzie would do this. That was just the first player that came to my mind. But it's like, dude, you're 24?
Yeah.
Like you're just new to the majors.
Yeah, he had a perfect game in the 9th last year or 8th.
I don't think it was a perfect game. Maybe it was like a perfect game in the 8th, no-hitter later.
Potentially, yeah.
The only person that had a perfect game in the 9th last year was Carlos Rodon. I know that for a fact.
He might have had it in the 8th. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I think he did have a perfect game, and he lost it on a walk.
And then I think Harold Ramirez got a single.
Yep. Shout out to my player to watch on the Cubs that's now on the Rays.
But yeah, it's interesting to see the evolution here, and yeah, no freakouts, and I don't know. I guess it kind of brushes over, but I guess like what also should be talked about is how awesome of a performance that is. 13 strikeouts against 21 Twins batters.
Yeah, not like it's a terrible lineup.
Yeah, like some solid righties. If I'm thinking correctly, like yeah, Buxton was
still there before he got hurt.
Miguel Sano, Carlos Correa, and I guess Polanco's a switch hitter, right? So Polanco from the right side. You have some dangerous guys, and you've struck out 13 out of 21 of them.
Side note, I think it's crazy. Like, I understand the injuries, but I think it's crazy that Clayton Kershaw is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
like,
right.
If you look at his last year, 1.6 walks per nine, 10.7 strikeouts per nine, 6.86 strikeout to walk ratio. That's just for reference. His 2013 strikeout to walk ratio when he won the Cy Young was 4.46.
He's in his age 34
season. Like, he's not even that outrageously old.
And
like, you could give him a 3-year deal. Easily.
Scherzer is in his age 37.
Yeah, and he got a 3-year deal.
Yeah. So, I understand the situation is different, but yeah, it is very interesting that he got just a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
But yeah, like he's still great for sure.
He's still Clayton Kershaw. Yeah.
Like he had a 3 flat FIP last year.
Mm-hmm.
ERA wasn't as friendly, but yeah.
It was still 3.55.
It was still 3.55.
Still very it's a 1.15 ERA plus, still more than serviceable.
I should look up at the if there's like a good solid player breakdown thing on last Wednesday's game. So yeah, looking at Clayton Kershaw's day, he had a 50% whiff rate overall. Pretty unbelievable considering. Well, I mean, maybe not considering the Twins lineup because they're not afraid to strike out, but considering first start of the year.
I was gonna say, can't believe he struck out Miguel Sano multiple times, who is hitting like 070 this year.
Yeah,
with 1 home run.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty wild day from Kershaw and I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of boomer takes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I sympathize with that, to some extent. But you have to also understand the situation at hand and who you're dealing with. It's not like Max Scherzer who throws 110 pitches every game, no matter what.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Buck Showalter tried to take Max Scherzer out of that game, he wouldn't have left there alive.
Exactly. Yeah. But Kershaw,
How much do you think Max Scherzer wants to punch Jose Tabata in the face?
Oh, yeah.
I bet he still thinks about that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, Kershaw is someone who, you kind of have to be careful with him right now, given, when was his last start in 2021?
Kershaw?
Because he wasn't in the playoffs at all, right?
I don't remember him in the playoffs. Yeah, no, he didn't because... Yeah, no, he was not in the playoffs, and his last start in 2021, I'm waiting for the game logs to load, it was October 1st, but it was only an inning and 2/3. The last time he pitched more than 5 innings in a start was June 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the last time, let's see, how many pitches did he throw in each of those other starts?
Yeah, last time he threw more than 75 was June 27th.
Yeah, that's it's 9.5 months.
Right. Yeah, perfect games are awesome.
I wanted to see a perfect game as much as anyone else, and I think Chris can say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we would love to have seen Clayton Kershaw pitch a perfect game. I was very upset to see him getting taken out, but it made sense.
Yeah. We can't argue that.
I'm pretty sure Clayton Kershaw straight up said it was the right thing to do. How much clearer could he have made it?
Exactly.
I am so happy that he took me out. I did not want to pitch a perfect game that day. No.
I can imagine a billion boomers tweeting at Clayton Kersh 22. Stop with the analytics.
With 3 tweets.
The analytics.
All of them ads.
Yeah. The analytics are killing you. You should have done that perfect game. He's just
He's like, dude, my arm is falling off.
Yeah.
It's April. I'm trying to win a World Series.
Yes.
Our rotation depth is not what everyone thinks it is.
Yeah. Yeah, this was probably not even the best start of my career.
It wasn't. His no-hitter had more strike. I mean, I guess he could have gotten 2 more in 2 more innings, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, even the context of it. But yeah, anyway... a funny point you made was thank God we didn't have to acknowledge the combined perfect game.
Yes, I was very happy when Alex, I think it's Vesha. It's either Vesia or Vesa because the Twins broadcast pronounced it Vesha, and I always thought it was Vesia. Anyway, he came in and immediately allowed a base hit to, I think it was Gary Sanchez, and I was like, you know what? I would have hate if we were 23 perfect games and also that Dodgers combined one. I can't do that.
Yeah, no.
Combined no-hitters, whatever. No one remembers. Some people don't even remember no-hitters.
Yeah, exactly.
I could throw out a random pitcher and be like, hey, Remember that time Mike Fiers threw his second no-hitter?
Mike Fiers.
Yeah, people like if you told people Mike Fiers has 2 no-hitters, they'd be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, no way. But he does.
But he does.
Him and Homer Bailey.
Yeah, him and Homer Bailey. Yeah, one of them was against the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I whatever. But combined perfect games, that can never exist.
Yeah.
Like I was actively rooting for them to give up a base runner.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, now it's not even a combined no-hitter. That's fine. But yes, I'm very glad we don't have to pretend like we have to celebrate that.
Right. Exactly.
Because also that would have sparked so many more boomer takes. It's like, look where the game has gone to. We have combined perfect games.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't imagine like the call-ins to high heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russo would have been like, I remember that time in 1974 when when Jim Bunning had his perfect. I don't know if it was 1974 or not, but when Jim Bunning had his perfect game and he threw 270 pitches and he had 18 walks.
And he couldn't feel from his wrist for 5 years, but it was worth it because it was a perfect game.
I don't care if that was the last start of Kershaw's career. He's got to throw a perfect game out there.
Yeah, how many times did he get a perfect game? There's only 23 of them. This game's been around since having a double day. It created it in 1839. They really have 23 of these. Yeah. It's predictable. It's very predictable.
Yeah. Also, doing a Russo impression is the easiest thing ever. You just have to talk about guys from the 1800s, but like not in the way we do, where it's like, yeah, Al Spalding's win percentage was great.
Yeah, you have to be very enthusiastic.
But it's also like like Al Spalding, Hall of Famer. It's got to be like, I remember on the 1974 Astros.
Yeah, right.
I remember 1974 Colt 45's Joe Morgan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I remember him. I don't care about those.
People talk about the Joe Morgan trade to the Joe Morgan raid to the Reds. I'm thinking about Lee May. Lee May was one of the best power hitters in the late '60s. I think it was pretty justified at the time. Yeah. We can't look at things hindsight's 20/20, but Lee May was one of the best power hitters out there. Yeah.
There it is. That's the Russo impression.
You have to reference players from 1950 to 1979.
But
the golden days era committee.
Yeah. But like not even like the great guys, like not even Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it has to be guys with under 50 wins above replacement.
Yeah, it has to be like, I'm trying to think, like a modern example would be like Max Kepler, one of those guys. Like he was pretty good. He's a pretty good player.
He's pretty good. Yeah,
people are casual baseball fans gonna remember him in 20 years that aren't Twins fans? Probably not. Sorry, Max Kepler. I think you're very good. I had you on my F4 team one year. You were okay.
I think his name.
You're also
Lee
from
May.
From Germany, and that's awesome.
Yeah, Lee May, 27.3 WAR, 116 OPS plus.
Yeah, you can't forget Lee May.
You can't forget about Lee May.
That's the title of the episode.
There we go. Yeah.
We went from Clayton Kershaw to Lee May. The ARR classic.
That's ARR for you. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's the Clayton Kershaw saga. It was pretty cut and dry how it was handled and how Clayton Kershaw thinks of it. So it's all good. All right. And another controversial thing happened in the world of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
This was where this was involving Kershaw's former teammate Corey Seager at Globe Life Park, facing the Angels. It's the bottom of the fourth, and the Rangers are up 3-2, and it's bases loaded and
one out.
I think that's bases loaded, one out. Gotta look at this screenshot here on Fangraphs. One out. And
I want to see if the Rangers scored any more runs in the inning after this.
Yeah, should see. But Seager gets intentionally walked which honestly it doesn't feel the same when you don't throw any pitches.
No, it really doesn't.
It's
because there's more time to appreciate the moment.
Yeah. It's like, they just threw one out of the zone.
Because it's like when Barry Bonds got intentionally walked with the bases loaded, you got to watch it happen 4 times.
Yeah.
Like 4 pitches where it's like, look at this. They're doing this.
They're really, yeah. They're really sure about this one. Yeah.
It's like, and look at that. There's ball 3. and here comes ball 4, and he's going to first base.
They're not looking back here.
Yeah. It would be very funny if at 2-0 they're like, actually, we changed our minds.
Yeah. We looked at his through 2-0 splits. This is actually best. This is actually best in a 2-run game.
Yeah. I don't think they scored again after that. The Rangers.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, nah.
Something that was some good thing that was produced on Fangraph's front page today. There was an article written by Ben Clemens, who writes for them, and it was saying like, what was the title was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, it was like, don't ever intentionally walk someone with the bases loaded.
Yeah, don't intentionally walk anyone with the bases loaded is exactly what it is. And he went over. He talked about the.
This might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the rest of the inning, so there's 1 out. Corey Seager gets intentionally walked with the bases loaded. Mitch Garver's on deck. He hits a deep fly ball. It's a sac fly to center field. Every runner advances. And then, so now there's 2 outs. There's men on second and third. And Austin Warren balks. He balks in a run, and then Adolis Garcia pops out. Like, 2 more runs ended up scoring. The Angels end up winning the game, which I hate that worked out. But
yeah,
but Austin Warren balked.
Yeah. Joe Madden didn't consider the balk probability with Austin Warren.
Yeah.
With I always keep thinking of Adam Warren because he was eternally on the Yankees.
Yeah, well, but he would always go on different teams, but then he'd come back to the Yankees.
Yeah, he'd be back.
Yeah, it was like the Ricky Henderson effect.
Yes. But, Austin Warren, he didn't consider the balk probability with Austin Warren with men on second and third. So Ben Clemens, who writes for Fangraphs, he used the WPA Enquirer and, like, run probability statistics and stuff and found that like there's a slight difference in run probability with Seager and Garver, with bases loaded and 1 out. But if you put Seager on and drive in a run, obviously the run probability goes way above if you like just face Garver without Seager there. It's like it's not a good decision.
That's got to be, like, Austin Warren's got to feel so disrespected there, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if you're intentionally walking Barry Bonds in the 9th inning with bases loaded and 1 out and you're up by 2, that's understandable. Like, if you're, I don't know, I think it was, who was the name of the pitcher that did that? I need to look that up. I'm pretty sure it was I think his name was Olson. Greg Olson. Yes, Greg Olson was the name of the pitcher. Who did that. Like, if you're Greg Olson, you probably understand why you're doing that. But, like, 4th inning, like, Austin Warren's got to be like, dude,
they're already
I want to
down.
get outs. Yeah.
They're already down, yeah.
Like, how much faith do you not have in me?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. That's... And it's Corey Seager. And Mitch Garver is, like, not a bad hitter.
No, he's been doing well this year.
Yeah, he's been doing specifically well this year, and the Rangers are already down. It's weird, but Joe Madden does weird things.
Yeah, and in the press conference he said like we wanted to avoid the big blow, which they ended up scoring 2 runs after that. So it's not like I guess they avoided a grand slam.
Yeah, but like, what's Seager's home run rate like?
Especially in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most pitcher-friendly ballparks in baseball. Not to mention the Angels won by 3, so even if Seager did hit a grand slam, it wouldn't have mattered. The Angels still would have won.
Yeah. Corey Seager, advanced batting. His career home run rate, and he'll hit some home runs, but his career home run rate is 3.8%.
Yeah.
So you're
And that's like not a bad home run rate.
Yeah, that's good. he's good. Like he's hit 26 in a season before in 2016, and that year his home run rate was 3.8%. So yeah, kind of fits in with his career. And yeah, so you're trying to avoid the chance of the 4% chance that he hits a grand slam, but you probably have a 100% chance of allowing a run.
You're probably more like 6 times more likely to strike him out.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I should go back into the search history with Seager. Advanced batting. And yeah, his career strikeout rate is 18.5%. So that's like
you're like 4.5 times more likely.
Yeah, 18.5 divided by 3.8. 4.9 times. Yeah, so 5 times.
You're 5 times more likely to strike him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Than you are to give up all. And even if you're not thinking home run, like maybe you're thinking like a double into the gap, you're definitely still more likely to strike him out.
Yeah. His extra base, or I don't think they have extra base hit rate on here, but you'd have to
manually do that, which is possible, but still,
like extra base hit rate is probably maybe 9-10%.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That would be fair to someone like Seager. So yeah, you're more likely to strike him out, clearly. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Angels won, but that's a team that was in last place last year.
No, they weren't.
The Rangers.
Oh, the Rangers.
So yeah, they beat they beat a team that was in last place last year. But yeah, anything more on the old Barry Bonds treatment?
If you had to give me like 5 players that would get the Barry Bonds treatment, like if you said at the beginning of the year, hey, someone's getting that, who is it? I don't know. Like, no disrespect to Corey Seager, but like, he's not my guess. It's an interesting guy to get the treatment. Like the last guy to get it was Josh Hamilton in like I think it was 2008.
Yeah.
Which like,
I think he was probably like red hot at the time.
Yeah. Very funny that I think the Rangers now lead all time in intentional walks with the bases loaded.
That's funny.
Josh Hamilton in 2008. Yeah, he had a 135 OPS plus. I don't know exactly. And by the way, the manager of that game was also Joe Madden because it was against the Rays.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he was just
maybe it was 09 actually.
He's just going wild. Josh Hamilton, Barry Bonds treatment. I'm just gonna Google that and see if Josh Hamilton 2008, but it's not giving me a.
It might have been 2009. Yeah, bases loaded intentional walk. It was Tampa Bay at Texas. It was August 17th, 2008. By that point in the season, he had a 918 OPS. Wasn't on any particular hot streak.
Yeah, so it was just Joe Madden being wild.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, like he had a 948 OPS over his last 26 games, but he was pretty consistently in the 900s throughout the season.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, just Joe. I feel like it's just Joe Madden pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, there was one instance throughout the season where his OPS was below 789 throughout that season, and it was after opening day.
Yeah. So he wasn't like particularly just storming out of the gate.
Yeah. The last time it was under 900 was actually it was 899 once in September, but still it was 899.
Maybe Joe Madden's only knowledge of him was the home run derby that year.
Yeah.
He's like, God, we got to avoid this guy.
That's true.
This guy hit 28 home runs in the first round. Mm-hmm. Imagine what he could do to us.
Yeah. He was probably watching that All-Star game, that home run derby, and was like, we face him in a month.
Oh, my God. God forbid the bases loaded. Well, yeah, Joe. So I wonder, was the last time that it wasn't a Joe Madden team, was that Barry Bonds?
Yes.
So, yeah. I guess, yeah. Makes sense.
Was it Buck Showalter that year?
Yeah, it was Buck Showalter.
Yeah.
The year before he got robbed.
So the last 3 managers to do it are still in the game.
That's funny. So.
Let me check. There's a list somewhere of. Did you see that, by the way? Did you see that clip of Mike Trout, like, reacting to it? Because the camera happened to be on him at the time.
Yeah.
He was just like, guys, what the hell? Yeah, I know Adley Rushman got that treatment in college.
Right, yeah. That makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got.
Right, okay. So, very interesting, very interesting. Do we have anything more to talk about for players to highlight?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Mike Trout got hit in the hand, but he seems to be okay-ish. Byron Buxton is going to be out for a week with an injury.
Yeah. There's like small injuries that are like...
I will say 2 injuries that looked much worse at first, which now seem to be okay, so that's really good. And then to like big-time players. Yeah,
Sonny Gray's on the IL. So yeah, not a whole lot of crazy action so far this season. Also, like, no teams on necessarily too hot or too bad of streaks that we're not expecting.
The Rockies are going to win the World Series.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is the one thing. Is a lot of people weren't talking about it, but they are 6-3, 1 game behind the Dodgers and Giants for first in the NL West.
Yeah, they have a .667 winning percentage, but still can't get past the Dodgers and Giants.
No, but they did win a series against the Dodgers. People don't forget about that. Yeah,
Mets are 7-3, but they faced the Nationals, and my aunt was coming at me. She's a Mets fan, and it was Easter yesterday. And she was like, "Oh, my Mets are doing better than your Red Sox." And I was like, "They're facing the Nats and the Diamondbacks."
Yeah.
and she was like, "Don't worry about it. They'll, by May, it's gonna be gone." She's after.
She's seen LOL Mets for
being a fan for many, many years. She has seen the true form of the Mets. So. Yeah. I guess it's good.
To be fair, you could be like a year old and you've seen the true form of the Mets. It's not
true.
That uncommon.
Yeah, all you have to do is wait till July 1st and we get that.
Here's the thing, LOL Mets is guaranteed every year no matter what. Because Bobby Bonilla is automatic LOL Mets. Like until 2035, it is happening every single year and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
Like the Mets could be like 90-0 going into July 1st. Guess what? We're still going to take that day to make fun of them.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so now it is time for players to highlight, where we are talking about, and we'll start off, I'm still out of the routine here of like how I introduce it, but, talking about players who are significantly overperforming, or maybe not overperforming, but doing well, or players that are underperforming.
My guy is overperforming.
And we're starting with our April 18, well, I guess it'll come out on April 19, 2022 edition of, make sure the volume's up. How about that? Who do you got for us today?
So I'm looking at a guy who is overperforming, but when you see his production, anyone doing this would be overperforming. I'm talking about Owen Miller of the Cleveland Guardians. Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan have been getting a lot of attention for their performances this season so far, and rightfully so. But Owen Miller is slashing 500, 545, 964 for a 1509 OPS in 33 plate appearances to this point. His 330 weighted runs created plus lead Major League Baseball as of April 18th at 9 p.m. because we're doing live updates here now. We got some fancy new technology for this year. He has 14 hits, and 9 of them are extra base hits. He also has 73rd percentile walk rate, 96th percentile whiff rate, 71st percentile outs above average, and 88th percentile sprint speed. He's doing everything well. He's hitting for contact. He's hitting for power with 7 doubles this season and 2 home runs. He's fast. He's playing really good defense. He's doing everything you can possibly ask for, right? He's walking a lot. He's not striking out. Anyway, his only blue circle is 16th percentile chase rate. But I already mentioned he has 96th percentile whiff rate. That means he has made contact on 28.6% of pitches he has seen out of the zone. That includes pitches that he takes out of the zone.
That's crazy.
That is the third highest rate among the 224 hitters that have seen at least 50 pitches out of the zone so far. He is also the first player in Major League history to have a 500 batting average, 7 doubles, and 4 walks in 9 games to start a season. So that is Owen Miller of the Cleveland Guardians, the first ever Cleveland Guardian. How about that?
Yeah, Owen Miller. How about that? And fitting with the Tom Hamilton for that.
Yes.
For that, how about that? My how about that is right up there with Miller in the OPS category. And he's become one of, I guess, more hardcore fans' most loved players. And, just because you just love to see him out there.
He's a lovable guy.
And there's just one particular walk-off home run he had where it's like you're just automatically on his team. It doesn't matter what team you root for. You're just on his team. And I'm talking about G-Man Choi, who's just coming out of the gates hot with the Tampa Bay Rays. He is hitting .455 with a .1477 OPS. He leads Major League Baseball in on-base percentage at .613. And by the way, this is coming into Monday the 18th. These are going to
playing right now. Let me get some live stats.
Yeah, if he's doing well, we'll ignore it. Or no, we won't ignore it. If he's doing badly,
even if he's not doing well, he's at a 612 OBP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's currently at 571. Who cares?
Heading into Monday, he was also in the 100th percentile in expected WOBA, expected slugging, walk rate, and chase rate. And also 60% of his batted balls have an exit velocity of 100 plus miles per hour, which is second out of 305 batters with 10 plus batted balls so far this year. So G-Man Choi, finally getting A.
I think he's the one player with a higher xWOBA than Albert Pujols right now.
Right, yeah.
Who's just the greatest hitter in the league.
Yeah. I think for some reason Alec Boehm is up there next WOBA.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's above Choi, but maybe that was just hitting into Monday. But now we go from the highs to the lows, talking about players or subjects that have been underperforming. So for our April 19th, 2021 edition of
Slightly Alarming.
Who do you got for us, Daniel?
So Corey Seager is at the pace of getting intentionally walked with the bases loaded. That's how well he's been doing. The other big Rangers acquisition over the offseason, not exactly having the same performance. Marcus Semien has not been doing very well for the Rangers. So far, he is slashing 128, 190, 179, 370 for a 9 weighted runs created plus in 42 plate appearances. That 9 weighted runs created plus is the 7th worst in baseball. He has gone to the opposite field on 32.3% of his batted balls, which is a career high for him, and it's a 12.9% increase from last year, which is the 13th highest increase in the majors. And with that being said, he has 10 batted balls to the opposite field. One of them has gone for a hit. So he's been late on. It seems like he's been late a lot more than in recent years, and it hasn't been paying off for him. So Marcus Semien, maybe choke up a little bit. Maybe he's just not. Maybe the extended or the shortened spring training is getting to him. I know that he's going to be better than 9 weighted runs created plus during the season, but not the strongest start to his Rangers tenure.
Right. Marcus Semien.
Slightly alarming.
Yeah, I wonder what the factors are. Obviously, you can't overreact too hard, but
no, it's slightly alarming for a reason.
Yeah, but also I wonder if there might be a little bit of a factor to worry about with not as much protection in the lineup, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's an old school thing to say, but you couldn't pitch around Semien because you had Vladdy and a bunch of other guys behind him ready to swing it. My slightly alarming is also someone who got MVP votes last year, not necessarily a finalist, but got MVP votes. You were actually talking about him earlier off the record. Joey Votto.
Yeah.
So I don't have too much analytically on him other than maybe one thing. So
I can give you a decent rant.
Yeah, he is hitting 118 with a 397 OPS. Mm-hmm. He has a 37.5% strikeout rate, and he has a 15.8% line drive rate, which is much below average. and a 10.5% pop-up rate. And 10.5% pop-up rate isn't necessarily alarming for a lot of guys. It's slightly above average, but this is a guy who, a few years ago would never have anything above 2% for a pop-up rate.
Yeah.
And he's already had 2 pop-ups on 19 batted balls. So, maybe just cold weather. He's a little late on some things, and I feel like that's usually what happens with pop-ups. Maybe a little late, and but yeah, he'll be working on it, I'm sure. But for now, Joey Votto is
Slightly alarming.
Yeah, he is.
Any more insight?
Yeah, I would love.
team.
He is on my F4 team, which has been
the Springfield F4 team.
brutal so far.
Yeah,
I'm in 8th place out of 10. Things have not been going well for Team Daniel.
I always have to remind myself it's a marathon.
It is. It's because I update the league every single day.
Yeah,
And it's so easy to overreact over 2 weeks when this is 5% of the season.
yeah. People
Because this, I've been in this league before. It can it dramatically changes.
yeah.
Seriously, it takes one day for a guy to go from up by a full win to in 3rd place.
Yeah, our F4 league group chat, it's not going to be as alive as it is in July, but the standings are going to be much different. I can pretty much tell you that.
Yes.
Daniel's not going to be in 8th place.
I would hope not.
When July comes.
Or 9th or 10th, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to be in 8th place. He's going to be in 10th.
His team is overperforming.
But yeah, those were our players to highlight for good and bad reasons.
Yes.
So now it is time to preview the week ahead, sort of. Monday already happened, but I'll be looking at some series to watch, which there are some good series, and Daniel will be talking about some solid pitching matchups. With series to watch, the Mets and Giants meeting up. I believe that's a 4-game series.
Yeah.
Some solid pitching matchups, at least based on what we've seen this year. I mean, the Mets pitching staff has been overperforming for sure, given some of the lineups they faced. They did face the Phillies, though, which is a solid lineup, and I think they were able to keep them at bay. But, yeah, they kept the Nationals and Diamondbacks at bay as well. So for Mets-Giants, Tuesday is a doubleheader. All 9 innings now. I forgot about that.
Thank God.
Oh, thank goodness. You got Tyler McGill, who has a 0 ERA in 2 starts thus far, against Alex Cobb, who's increased his fastball velocity in his mid-30s. That's fun. And then in the second game, I'll just leave that one to Daniel.
Yeah. That's matchup of the day.
You're gonna want to watch that one. Wednesday, yeah, some other great matchups. You got some great pitching matchups that Daniel's going to get into. And then the other series to watch, it needs no explanation as why it's exciting to watch, but Dodgers-Braves, they've played each other in the last 2 NLCSs. They've basically improved over the offseason for the most part, I think.
Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, Freddie Freeman, exactly. Freddie Freeman on the Dodgers now, facing off with his former teammates pretty much right out of the gate. And yeah, it's, the Braves won the last NLCS before them, and then
Dodgers beat him in 2020.
Dodgers beat him in 2020.
Yep.
And that'll be they're playing tonight. They're playing
Kershaw versus Huascar Yanoa tonight.
They're playing what appears to be a 3-game series, so
yeah,
that should be fun to watch. Who do you got for day-by-day matchups?
So on Tuesday, we are looking at a couple good matchups. Madison Bumgarner will be facing the Nationals in Game 1 of the doubleheader. In Game 1 of San Francisco versus New York, Alex Cobb versus Tyler McGill, you mentioned. That's a good one. Alex Cobb, probably the best 5-starter on any team, except for maybe Zach Wheeler, because he was hurt to start the year for the Phillies.
Oh, yeah.
Shane Bieber will be pitching for the Guardians. That's going to be an exciting one. How about this matchup? Not matchup of the day, but Adam Wainwright versus Jesus Luzardo. Luzardo had
two contrasting
players, but one of them had 12 strikeouts in 5 innings his last time out. Garrett Cole is going to be pitching for the Yankees against Detroit. Nathan Eovaldi will be pitching for the Red Sox against the Blue Jays. Justin Steele will be going for the Cubs. That's a guy that a lot of people haven't paid attention to. He's got decent strikeout numbers, very good walk numbers. That is an exciting one. Corbin Burns will be facing the Pirates. Patrick Sandoval and Framber Valdez will be going against each other. Those are two of my pitchers to watch going against each other in Angels-Astros. Another one of my players to watch, Carlos Hernandez, will be going for the Royals against the Twins in Kansas City. We got the all-Kyle matchup in Kyle Gibson versus Kyle Freeland in Phillies-Rockies. Have the Rockies played away from Coors Field yet? I don't think they have.
Couldn't have.
I don't, because they faced the Dodgers to start the year. Yeah, they faced the Dodgers to start the year. I'm thinking out loud. They faced the Cubs over the weekend. And last week, I don't think they were.
I don't think they went out for one series.
No, I think they've stayed in Coors the entire time.
We'll take a look at that. Anyway.
Joe Musgrove will be going for the Padres against the Reds. We have Gray versus Ray in Rangers Mariners. John Gray versus Robbie Ray.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And,
the Rockies, oddly enough. They started in Coors against the Dodgers. Then they went to Texas for 2 games.
They did go to Texas for 2 games.
But they've 7 out of the 9 games they've played have been at Coors.
It feels like they've always been in Coors. Yeah. Now I don't know what matchup of the night is because this one is very good too. You know what? That series is matchup of the night the other day. You also have in Game 2 of the doubleheader with the Mets and Giants, Logan Webb versus Max Scherzer. That's a great one. Did you see Mike Petriello's tweet today?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so Alex Cobb is starting Game 1 of the doubleheader. Logan Webb is starting Game 2. He goes, guys, I'm sorry, Cobb Webb. Anyway, matchup of the night on Tuesday.
I don't hate on puns like many people do. Puns are okay.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a great pun.
Yeah.
Matchup of the night comes from Braves-Dodgers at 10 on Tuesday. Max Fried versus Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You're going to want to watch that one. On Wednesday, it is April 20th. That's just a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a day to watch some baseball.
Yeah.
And anyway, Mitch Keller will be going against Brandon Woodruff in Pirates-Brewers. Mitch Keller, he's been a breakout hopeful this year. He's gotten an uptick in velocity, and I think, he hasn't exactly gotten the results yet, but it's only been 2 starts. He'll be facing off against a very good pitcher in Brandon Woodruff. Zach Eflin will be facing German Marquez in Phillies-Rockies. Charlie Morton will be going against Tony Gonsolin in Braves-Dodgers. Mackenzie Gore, who already made his Major League debut, will be facing Vladimir Gutierrez in Reds-Padres. Our Cy Young pick, Dylan Cease, will be facing against Triston McKenzie and the Guardians. It will be Shohei Day on Wednesday against the Astros. Sandy Alcantara will be facing an unnamed pitcher from the Cardinals. Luis Severino versus Eduardo Rodriguez will be a good one. I'm looking through all these great matchups, and then Zach Davies versus Eric Fetty.
Just two randos.
2 guys.
Oops.
Jose Barrios versus Nick Pivetta. I'll be at that game. 2 pitchers that have been struggling so far this year. Looking to break that.
Yeah.
Drew
for
Rasmussen
sure.
will be facing Marcus Stroman in Rays Cubs. I still haven't really processed the fact that Chris Paddock is on the Twins. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me neither.
He faced Kershaw in that game.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, this dude just can't escape facing the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like, he goes to the Twins, his first start, Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, Twins-Dodgers is classic rivalry, 1965
I was going to
World
say,
Series.
who could forget, yeah, the Senators versus the Brooklyn Dodgers, Sandy Koufax. He did it.
He did it. His 10th strikeout. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, Vin, is it was his 10th strikeout. Not that they just won the World Series. Sorry.
What episode was that?
44.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. I remember when I was...
That's when How About That debuted.
Yes. Great probably my favorite player episode we ever did.
Side note, so I'm looking at Dalton Jeffries versus the current Orioles roster. I don't know who he faced, but he had one plate appearance. This is so funny just looking at it on Baseball Savant. It shows his plate appearances, K percent, WOBA, batting average against, FIP, exit velocity, launch angle, expected WOBA, expected batting average, and expected slugging against everyone on the current roster. His current FIP against the Orioles in one plate appearances just says infinity. I've never seen that before. It's just something to take in.
Yeah.
Logan Gilbert had a very good outing last time out against the White Sox. He'll be going up against Dane Dunning. Pretty young matchup. Both sides. Matchup of the day comes from Giants and Mets. It will be Carlos Rodon, who's had 2 magnificent outings, against Chris Bassett.
Yeah. Who also has been doing very well.
Yeah.
I think against Nats and Phillies.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. On Thursday, the last day that we'll preview here, why does it say that Dylan Cease is pitching on 2 different days? Dylan Cease will be pitching on 0 days rest.
Pulling an old hog.
Yeah. Yep. He faces Tristan McKenzie one day, Zach Plesac the other. So that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, the Lance Lynn and Lucas Giolito injuries really hit the White Sox pretty hard. They're having Cease going 0 days rest.
That's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's historic. Yeah.
He's coming in to face 3 batters on Wednesday, and then on Thursday he's going for real. So that's going to be really cool. Dylan Cease on 0 days rest.
Yes.
Going for the White Sox.
That's why I picked him as Cy Young. I thought he was going to make 75 starts this year.
It's like, well, he had 310 strikeouts in 280 innings.
Yeah.
Hard to not pick that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anthony DeSclafani will be facing Carlos Carrasco in the finale of Giants-Mets. How about this one? Joe Ryan versus Zach Greinke. 2 guys on the opposite end of the age spectrum.
Yeah. The guy in his, technically second year, but actually rookie year.
Yeah.
Versus a guy in his, I think, 19th?
Yeah.
Because he started in 04, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
Love to see it.
Our Orioles player to watch, Tyler Wells.
Yeah.
Will be. I hate that they're using him as a starter. He hasn't been as good as a starter.
Right.
He's already given up a home run on the road.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, you got to keep him in the bullpen.
Does make sense.
There's a lot of unannounced pitchers. Taylor Hearn will be going against Marco Gonzalez. That's a all-lefty matchup. 2 very different lefties. Pablo Lopez will be going against an unnamed Cardinals pitcher. I guess matchup of the day comes from Red Sox and Blue Jays, Kevin Gausman versus Tanner Houck. Houck did pretty well last time out against the Twins.
I believe Houck, I don't know why they have him listed, but I don't think he's going to be pitching.
No, it's in Boston.
Oh, it's in Boston.
Yeah, next week.
Oh,
they're going to
okay.
Toronto,
Next
and Houck
week,
will be ineligible to pitch. It was very, not to get too political here, but it was very funny seeing Houck had a quote saying, I'm really bummed that I can't pitch.
Yeah.
Got a good laugh out of that one. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, right, yeah.
By the way, have you seen just the absurd Kevin Gausman year? In 2 starts.
I've heard a little bit about it.
Yeah. He has a 4.22 ERA and an 0.4 FIP. 0.7 F/WAR with a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah.
It was it was very funny. I was, I'm updating the F/WAR scores, and I was like, oh man, Kevin Gausman's doing really well. And then I was like, wait a minute, he has an ERA in the mid-4s?
I should check his B-WAR.
Yeah. I don't think they have it posted yet.
Yeah, they don't have it yet.
Yeah, they don't have that yet. Shout out to StatCast for posting the leaderboards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to them.
I know that it usually takes a couple weeks, but they are out.
They did it.
They
done did it.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Very funny that on StatCast he's just listed as Vladimir Guerrero. They don't have the junior in there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's like, Vladimir Guerrero, you may remember him from when he played 20 years ago. He looks a little different.
Yeah.
Looks a lot
He's a little heftier.
Yeah. He's a first baseman now.
Yeah. Yeah, not as fast on the base paths.
Yeah. So that is I think that's all for us tonight.
Yeah, should do it. We hope you enjoyed this one.
Side note, Joey Gallo is listed twice in a row on the barrel percent leaderboard. He's ranked 15th and 16th at 11.4 each. Identical stats across the board.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
that's pretty messed up of the Yankees to put him in the lineup twice.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty illegal. You only get to bat once every 9 times.
Yankee fans would lose their mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
no one would be more upset than the Yankees.
No one would be upset than like the average 57-year-old Yankee fan.
Yeah. Mike from, or I don't know what common areas of Yankees fans, because I was about to say Brooklyn, but I feel
Tony from Manhattan.
Yeah, Tony. Mike from 45th and 5 or whatever. I don't know how they name their streets. They're upset.
They're obsessed with numbers.
New Yorkers will just, say any avenue and expect you to know it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, dude, I'm from
62nd Street.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this one. If you're listening if you want to follow us on social media, follow me on Twitter at Chris_Gianta. Follow Daniel on both Twitter and Instagram at Daniel_Curran, and follow the show on Instagram at Above Replacement Radio for all the show needs. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope to see you sometime soon, where we will be talking all the happenings in Major League Baseball once again. See you then.
This conversation is over.